The jingle. Wow. I'd like to hear your jingle.
Oh, yay.
Okay?
Can we sing along with it?
Yeah, can I have it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
really
sing
likes
along.
her jingle. We do.
Sing along with it. Go ahead, I'd like to hear your jingle.
Moms, they want it fresh. Kids, they want it fast. Chicken of the Sea is the name you can trust. Chicken of the Sea is the tuna that you know, for a healthy choice anywhere, at home or on the go. Ask any mermaid you happen to see, what's the best tuna? Chicken of the Sea.
That's pretty good.
Lori, I'm having a hard time finding real fresh foods that are fast. We're always eating on the go, so convenience wins.
Carla, don't sacrifice healthy for convenient. You can have both with Chicken of the Sea.
Joey loves tuna.
Most kids do. Chicken of the Sea is a natural choice full of protein, low in fat, and high in omega-3s.
That's a healthy choice for home, but what about when we're on the go?
Chicken of the Sea has affordable lunch solutions, tuna cups, and salmon cups that are ready to eat anywhere.
I knew you'd have the answer.
Ask any mermaid you happen to see, what's the best tuna? Chicken of the Sea.
Well, that was pretty good.
It's adorable. It's absolutely adorable.
What did you think of their jingle, Clint?
Very musical, and I'm not surprised, very lyrical. And I happen to believe that everyone has music in them. You can find that rare gem of a person who really has none, but I think that it's something that just as she found once she started a process, that process will work.
You know, the way she was moving, I think you do have an ability in music. I could see, Brandy, you probably don't. Because you don't have a lot of good rhythm. And you did have good rhythm.
Wow.
Well, thank you.
I think you do have an ability in music. Jesse, what do you think?
It's not bad.
Not bad.
Not
You
bad.
like yours better?
I think so.
Joan, what do you think of that?
I think the jingle's adorable. But ours is very different. The commercial, I don't like straight commercials. This commercial gives you all your product information, absolutely.
Do you like that as much as, let's say, Clint's jingle?
Jingle, I still am hungry in our jingle.
Okay, that's good. I'd like to hear it.
Naturally, healthy and nutritious. Naturally, easy and delicious. Ask any mermaid you happen to see, what's the best tuna? Chicken of the Sea.
Good.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time once again to play Did You Know? Did you know?
That Chicken of the Sea tuna swims so fast it's naturally 99% fat-free.
Did you know?
That it's low sodium and a natural source of healthy heart super oil omega-3.
Did you know?
That Chicken of the Sea tuna can reduce the risk of heart disease by as much as 44%.
I did not know that.
It's penny-wise and dollar-smart. Good for your thighs and great for your heart.
What's the best tuna? Chicken of the Sea.
Wow. Annie, what do you think?
Oh, nice good clap. That's exactly what we were talking about.
And do you think yours is as good or better?
I think ours is really different.
Do you think it's better?
No, I just want to clap. What are you talking about?
What do you think?
I think theirs is very, very good.
It's they're so different. It depends on what the brand wants.
Well, Don, let me ask you, what did the executives think of Athena?
Well, from the pros, they thought the jingle hit all the criteria. They thought the jingle was catchy, and they thought the radio spot was really creative. They liked the moms talking about how tuna is fast, fresh, and convenient. The one negative was that they said it was mentioned in cups, but it wasn't also said that it was in pouches.
What is a pouch? They put tuna fish in a pouch?
Yeah, you just...
Like a Ziploc freezer bag.
I don't like that idea. I like it right out of a can.
It's easier because you don't have the thing in the oil.
It's exactly the same,
because
but...
it's packed without the...
It really is?
Yeah, it's exactly the same, but...
It's more convenient.
More convenient.
No can opener needed.
Well, that's true. That's true. Ivanka, in terms of Kotu, what were the pros and cons?
Well, they actually said that they thought the performance of the jingle was terrific. I don't think anyone's surprised by hearing that. They liked the focus on naturalness and health. And they also loved the comedy in Joan's commercial. So I think that was a good decision that you all came to. The negatives were that they didn't think that everyone necessarily loved country music, and it was definitely geared in that direction, and that they wished that there had been a little bit more focus on the convenience of the product, which is ultimately what they were trying to highlight.
All fair.
All fair. All fair. So let's get down to it. You ready?
Yeah.
You know what the pros were? You know what the cons, we're not going to go through a long scenario. The fact is that the executives really liked the job that Annie and Brandy did.
No!
And they respected Clint. They were very concerned about the country aspect because they have such a large group of people, and they loved the song, they loved your voice, they loved your performance, but they thought it was very limited.
It's fair. It's fair.
Hey, look at these two, they don't believe it. But they loved the job, Annie, that you did, and that Brandy did.
Thank you.
So congratulations very much. As you know, you're going to be getting $20,000 for your favorite charity.
Yes, for Refugees International. And
very good.
Thank you so much.
Look at you.
No, it was just really hard for us yesterday morning to hear the task and just to feel like there was no way that we could ever climb that mountain against Clint. And I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just can't believe we won.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank
Go
you
ahead.
very much. Thank you.
Have a good time.
Thank you.
Good job, guys.
Oh my God.
You've all done great. But sadly, somebody of the three will be fired.
I thought... When I heard it was country, I thought we had a chance. When I heard he did country, I just cried in front of Donald Trump. Holy crap. I just beat Clint Black in a songwriting contest. I'm so beside myself. I wrote a song that they liked better for them than Clint Black, and they loved our commercial. I'm the winningest project manager. I was never brought back into the boardroom, and I've raised 30% of the money in a 16-man game. So if I don't get into the final two, it's because I pissed off Mr. Trump without knowing it, because it seems to me that I'm supposed to be there.
Wow. I was shocked. I was like, wait a minute. I'm in the final four.
I'm just so happy. Oh my God.
Oh my God, you did it.
As much as Joan Rivers called me a dumb blonde the other night, I'm not a dumb blonde. I don't envy them right now at all.
Clint, a little bit of an upset.
Quite an upset.
I mean, the fact is you did very well. You really did. I loved it.
Thanks.
And I'm not even sure I didn't like it more, but it has nothing to do with me. I mean, these guys are very talented executives, and they chose the other people, so.
I have to say that I did like it more, so I was a little bit surprised to hear that you guys had lost, but I guess it goes to listening to the executives and the message. They actually mentioned the brand name 3 times in their very short jingle, whereas you all had only mentioned it once. So maybe
And it was a little zippier. It was a little zippier. They had a lot of snap, Joan, didn't they?
Yeah, it was. I will say, people would sing his, you couldn't sing the other one. And I think a jingle should be that's the one you're humming in the bathtub, and that's the one you're humming.
That's not true. People have been singing it all day. People have been singing it all day, Joan.
Why do you think you lost, Jesse?
I think because, you know, although we worked together, all 3 of us, we managed to put our differences aside and not fight, it still wasn't a total creative working environment. You know, this was Clint's show, and, you know, we're not in any position to argue with him because he is so acclaimed as a country star.
I agree with that.
But Joan and I definitely had some opinions on some stuff.
Did Clint listen to your ideas?
A little bit. We got Clint to record, you know, a couple faster versions. I don't know 100% that we actually ended up with those. You know, it still sounds like the slower version to me.
If you sped it up, could you have gotten more of the things in there or not? Meaning if you kind of went with a little bit catchier, a little faster tune, could you have crammed more into the jingle?
But Joan, your radio spot didn't talk about convenience. Why is that?
No, what I wanted to do a funny spot, the Remember Funny, and unfortunately we couldn't make it funny enough. It needed a punchline so desperately, and we just didn't get to do the punchline.
You thought you were being restrained, basically.
Yeah.
Did you have a punchline?
Yeah.
What's your punchline?
Oh, we had all kinds of things. At one point, at the end of the jingle, I wanted to do, like, sing the end of the jingle really beautiful.
What's the best tuna? chicken of the sea.
Cluck, 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 cluck. Splash.
That's terrible.
People will laugh.
No, that's bad. That's not funny.
It's not funny at all.
No, it's about as funny as Hitler.
This was really a creative choice. I thought that it was putting an image on a product that we weren't certain the executives would be comfortable with, so it was risky to me.
See, that wasn't a criticism, though, interestingly. They thought it was funny, and they commented on how they liked the humor. I think had you have gone another step further, that may have been distracting to them.
Yeah.
So whatever you did right. So whoever made the decision to go that direction, I think that's something they did respond to positively.
So, Joan, if you were me, who would you fire, Joan? Tell me.
Oh. I can't stand this. I cannot stand this.
Go ahead, it won't hurt my feelings.
I can't.
It won't hurt my
It
feelings,
would have to be the project manager because
that's right.
it'd have to be Clint.
It's interesting because Joan wanted to have a little more snap in your song, in your jingle. And ultimately, maybe that's one of the reasons you didn't win. You know, Clint, you are a great talent, and you do have a great voice, and I loved your jingle. I thought it was great. But you've lost before, Clint, and you really called it. It has to be the project manager in this case. So, Clint, you're fired. Good luck. Thank you very much.
Thanks for everything.
Thank you very much.
Enjoyed it. Thank you, guys. Good job, Clint.
Thanks, Clint.
Thank you, Clint.
Thank you, guys.
Wow. That's gonna be so hard. She just got beat by a poker player who's never sung anything in her life.
Go ahead. Thank you. Me and you.
It would have been a very funny commercial. See, you gotta go the whole way.
That's great, guys.
Hey, it's good meeting you.
You too. Thanks. Take it for a ride.
My job.
When Athena won, I knew I was going. I really sincerely was grateful for having been here and gone through this craziness. Stop being mean to people.
Oh, come heckle me.
All right. I learned a lot about myself and my people skills, and I learned that life is too short to be around people that you don't enjoy. I don't have time for anything that isn't good for me.
Oh, Joan's gonna come in our room now. Maybe she won't come in.
But it was his total decision, and it had to be him.
I know it's hard. Hi.
Joan and Jesse walked in, and now is the time where we want to kind of be like Final Four, yay. And Joan literally is like this. And she was literally standing over by the chair, pointedly. She wouldn't look at me and Brandy. She did not want to speak to me and Brandy.
Good job. You guys pulled it out of your ass on that one. That was good.
I
Great
don't
work.
even know how I wrote that jingle. I couldn't repeat it ever in a million years, I don't think.
Any team that Annie's on is spelled T-I-I-I-I-I-I-I-I.
Poor Clint. He took so much abuse. Did you really become friends with him?
It's easier to be friends than fight the whole time.
That's true. That's very true.
Huh. Isn't that right?
I am not allowing myself to get sidetracked. I am here for my charity. I'm here to play the game. Will I ever socialize with some of them again? Never.
I guess it's just me and you bitches.
Really interestingly, when Joan left the room became jovial.
Do you guys want to play checkers or something?
Yeah, sure. I haven't seen Jesse in like 3 tests.
All of a sudden, we were all happy. So it was like there was a cancer in the room that walked out of the room, and we all felt better. I'm so proud of myself.
Hello? Hi, can you all please come back to the boardroom now?
Okay, thank you. Mr. Trump wants to see us back in the boardroom, you guys.
Congratulations. You're in the Final Four. Not easy, but it's not over yet. Because tonight I'm going to fire 2 more people. Now, you're going to be interviewed by Piers Morgan. He's tough, he's smart, he's somewhat vicious. I was criticized last year when I picked him as the winner, but 2 weeks later everybody said I did absolutely the right thing. He was a great player. He's going to be recommending to me who the final 2 should be. I'm going to very, very strongly rely on him. I'll see you in a little while. Go.
Thank you. Congratulations, everybody. Yes, an amazing accomplishment.
It was very difficult sitting there, knowing that out of the 4, only 2 were going to be picked. I had no idea who he would like and who he wouldn't like. Wow.
Brandy?
Yes?
Pierce is ready to see you.
I have to be first. I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
I think there's a lot at stake with these interviews because Donald really respects what Piers has to say. The pressure's on and we're freaking out. Good luck, baby. Thank you.
Brandy, how are you?
Hello there.
Coming up.
So, what do you think of the folks?
Smart, some underdogs, some obvious stars, but you're not quite sure who's going to step to the plate and who's going to crash off it.
So, what do you think of the folks?
It was very interesting. I mean, obviously, I didn't know most. I've met Joan once.
So it's an interesting group. Smart, but interesting.
Yeah, smart, some underdogs, some obvious stars, but I know better than most people when you get to this stage of your competition. You know, you're not quite sure who's going to step to the plate and who's going to crash off it. So, Brandy, how's it been going, the show for you?
It's been quite interesting. It's been exhausting. It's been a great experience overall.
The allegations against you that I was picking up on are you're not the smartest tool in the box.
I didn't think that that's what was being said.
I mean, that's pretty insulting.
Well, Joan had said that she thought that Annie had said that. Annie denies saying that. And Joan, in the first few tasks, has said that I'm extremely bright and that I was the star in the challenges.
Do you think you're bright?
I know I'm bright.
I mean, everyone likes you. But I mean, no one liked me and I won. Do you think being Miss Nice Guy can win you the whole thing?
No, not at all. That's just me as a person. I'm just a nice person.
Would you feel in a funny way that if you were to win, it would be a great 2 fingers up to everyone who thinks that people who come from your background?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You're here to fight the dumb blonde tag once and for all.
I'm here to fight for my kids. But it would be a nice added bonus to be able to do that as well.
How are you going to make yourself unexpendable?
When push comes to shove, I defend myself, and I will do that to the end, and I will do whatever it takes to win.
What about Brandy? Beautiful Brandy.
I don't think she's smart enough. I think it would demean your show if she made the final, because I don't think she's up to that.
What do you think of Joan?
Joan's complicated. I mean, I think she's a very smart lady. I think for her age, she's shown remarkable stamina. I know how tough this show is to do.
Yes, yes.
Too,
very English, very English.
Joan, I've been a massive fan of yours for a long, long time. So I'm fascinated by the way you played this game.
I've had so much fun because there's nothing better than to get a task and to have to do it and do it fast.
See, the things I would say about you from what I know of you You're a survivor. You're someone who's never given up. And yet, having said that, I'm hearing from your fellow competitors, they think you're a quitter. You're annoyed at the way that your daughter's been treated. Are you a quitter?
Oh yeah, I'm a real quitter. That's why at 75, I've got 2 books, a Broadway show.
When I asked you about Melissa,
yeah,
and she gets chucked under a bus by her colleagues, unfairly in your view.
I have great principles.
But this is a business game. And in business, people are ruthless, tough, scheming. Sometimes people go out because Donald Trump doesn't like them. It's his call.
I guess it is his
call. Who are you to be the second arbiter of fairness? It's down to him, isn't it?
I still have my principles.
But they only apply to your daughter.
It's family first. We were a very small family. They were all killed by the Nazis, which tells you what I think of Annie. It's Melissa and me against the world.
Is your main problem with Annie the fact that you think she's better than you?
Oh, no. My main problem with Annie is she is very manipulative.
She's a poker player. They look at you in the face that says Queen of Spades, and quietly they've got the Ace of Clubs.
I know.
That's what they do.
And I'm just learning that about her. She is a poker player. That is all
she's the best poker player in the world.
Oh, absolutely.
And she's playing you like a viola. She's sucking you in.
Sucking me in.
You call her Hitler.
She is. She is a mean, vicious, divide and conquer person.
But Hitler was the worst tyrant of the 20th
just
century.
Listen to her. Everything is about, I did this.
I understand, but
I don't deal that way. And
do you not regret calling her Adolf Hitler? I mean,
yes, I do, because she doesn't have a mustache. I should have called her Ava Braun. You're so right.
If it came down to a final, hypothetically, between you and Annie, I mean, you would presumably leave no stone unturned to beat her.
I will kill to win. You tell me to, I don't know, go roll a ball uphill. I will roll that damn ball. If I have no arms and no legs, if I'm pushing it with my head, I'll roll it with my tongue if I have to.
You don't like Joan too much.
I don't dislike her. I thought the attack on Annie was extraordinary for its venom. I think to call anybody worse than Adolf Hitler, I thought that was unnecessary and way over the top, and it's all coming back to that relationship between mother and daughter, and I don't think that should come into this business competition.
But in all fairness, the age, not the youngest person, the energy is amazing.
Oh, amazing energy. To have got as far as she has already, amazing.
Amazing.
Coming up.
Can you get people to follow you, Annie? I mean, people don't like you that much. You know, at the beginning, we thought she's an innocent lamb. Is that right, John? It appears I'm very, very proud of my choice of you, and I hope, frankly, I'm as lucky this time. So, how about our great poker player, Annie Duke?
Annie's what she is. She's a fast-talking, fast-playing action girl, probably the smartest contestant by quite a long way.
Are you surprised that they go after her so strongly? I mean, it's amazing. She seems nice. She's probably not nice, but they really go after her.
Hey, everybody wants to shoot the fastest gun. So Annie, you're the top gun, the one they all think they have to beat.
Okay.
What do you think of that?
I think that I have played the game as well as I can. I think that I'm a good games player and very committed to charity, and I'm willing to ask anybody anything in order to raise money for charity.
Joan Rivers thinks you're worse than Adolf Hitler.
Well, you know, Joan Rivers, in pretty much everything she says about anybody in the boardroom decides to be very personal about it. I choose not to be. I think that this is a business task, and we just have different styles about how we talk.
I mean, as a poker player who plays with some of the biggest sharks in gambling history, presumably this all just flies over you.
Well, you saw me in the boardroom. Did I ever get upset? Did I ever get personal with her?
Do you think you're smarter than the others?
Well, let me give you an example. I announced to the team that didn't they all think that I should be project manager for a fundraising task? Now, this is daft for them to agree to this. On fundraising challenge number 1, I brought 40% of the money in an 8-man team. In fundraising challenge number 2, I brought 40% of the money in. Nobody should ever allow me to project manage a fundraising task. I can't get fired if I do. And I actually thought it would be harder for me to get them to agree that I should project manage fundraisers. They just don't understand the game, which is different. I'm a games player, and when we're at a poker table, it's cutthroat. There's no this Joan and Melissa thing going on. We were playing a winner take all $2 million, and we were down to 3.
The other thing I hear about is you talk all the time.
That's true.
You're like,
yep. I won't deny that.
I love watching Annie's face. She's being abused, and she's just like
cool. I find it bizarre that Joan's getting that personal, but it's a classic trip up that any poker player would love to see in an opponent. This woman, you could say anything you like. If she's got the money at the end of the rainbow, she doesn't care what you say about it.
How about Jesse?
Well, everyone assumes he's great, but he hasn't brought a dime in, despite being married to one of the richest and most successful movie stars in the world. Sandra Bullock could have married any man in the world. She married him.
Not me.
Apart from you, Mr.
I don't think you either.
But she chose him, so he must have a lot more than he's showing us. He must have. Hi, Jesse.
How you doing, Pierce?
How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Come and sit down. So, Jesse, of all the contestants, you're the one that confounds me the most. I can't work you out. What are you in this show for?
Honestly, I think to prove that, like, regular working class people can achieve the same things as someone with a suit.
But you don't lead a working class lifestyle. I mean, you're married to a very famous movie star. I mean, you obviously have a glamorous life.
Surprisingly, I live a pretty regular life. You know, I just happen to have a wife that does the job she does. And
I mean, you must be a pretty special guy because you landed Sandra Bullock, one of the most desirable women in the world. So there's clearly a lot more that goes on inside your head and your personality than you're prepared to unveil to the world. But you want to win, right?
I want to win.
But you won't call up rich, famous friends and ask them for cash. I mean, is the movie world a bit tight? Are they mean? Are you irritated by the assumption from people like me that you should hammer your wife for money?
I keep my life with me and my wife, my life with me and my wife. You know, and that's just the way it is.
But this is for charity.
I understand that. I've been busting my ass.
That's different.
You know, I've been doing my job and a lot of other people's, carrying a lot of weight.
But primarily this show is about raising money for charity.
I don't think so. I think primarily it's about getting a job done and not interfighting with your own teammates. You know, if you finish a task and you win, guess what? You don't get fired.
When he looked at me when I was challenging him about his wife not giving money, he wanted to kill me with his bare hands. And I would like to see some of that passion and aggression that's clearly there come to the fore in the game.
We're both waiting.
Everybody's waiting. Whoever does get to the final deserves to get there because they will have gone through one of the toughest things that any human being should ever go through.
Piers, if you had to pick two of the four, who would you pick? So what do you think of Piers, Annie?
I thought he was awesome, actually. I think he's great.
He's a very opinionated guy. You know, ultimately I don't care, it's my decision, but he's a very opinionated guy. Annie, why do you deserve to be in the final two?
I won the most as any project manager. I never lost as project manager. I had 2 wins, and I think my last win was against what looked like insurmountable odds. I raised 30% of the money on a 16-man show, and when my team did lose, which was only 3 times, nobody even had a whisper of a thought of bringing me back into the boardroom. And I think it's because I just worked really hard, and I tried really hard on every task.
So, if you are chosen for the final two, who would you most like to compete against?
Joan.
Joan? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You think Joan's the weakest player?
I think that in terms of fundraising and yeah, I think so. She just hasn't raised as much money, I think.
But also Jesse hasn't raised any money, but you chose Joan to compete against.
And actually, as I said that, I thought, ooh, maybe I should have said Jesse. Actually, interestingly enough, I was like, he also hasn't been that effective.
But I think if you were to look at things stereotypically, you'd say that Joan should be a no-brainer for being able to raise money.
Right, I think it's more surprising that her friends aren't doing what you would expect them to do. And I actually feel bad for her because one of the things...
Don't feel bad for me.
No,
I only allow my peers to feel badly for me, so don't feel badly for me.
I only meant it in terms of...
Sort of a little knock the way you said that.
No, actually not at all.
You do have an edge.
Well, I mean, I do have an edge. I admit that. But no, what I meant is that I think that's...
Have you always had that edge? You really get to see that as this goes along. You know, at the beginning, We thought she's an innocent lamb. Is that right, John?
Never.
Can you get people to follow you, Annie? I mean, people don't like you that much. Can you get people to follow you?
Well, first of all, there are people who like me, clearly, and obviously I have a lot of good friends who will show up at the drop of a hat. And
you know, the final task isn't all about fundraising, and it may not even be about fundraising. It's also about other things in life. Can you do that as well?
Absolutely.
Brandy, do you really think you can compete with her?
Yes, I do. I think that I'm the only one that can compete with her.
Joan, do you think that Brandy can compete with Annie? You don't like Annie, but that's okay. Do you think Brandy can compete with Annie?
No, I think Brandy has no idea what she's saying now. I mean, she's very sweet and very nice and is so out of her league that she doesn't know she's out of her league.
Do you think she's a little bit lucky to have gotten this far?
I think she's a lovely, nice girl. I think if she looked like me, she wouldn't be sitting here now.
Brandy, why do you deserve to be in the final two?
I deserve to be in the final two because I honestly feel that I've worked the hardest in this game. I really do. I've raised, with the exception of Annie, the most money here, and I've put my heart into every single task and did 100% and did it great.
Do you think you could legitimately go one-on-one against Jesse, Annie, or Joan in terms of generating celebrity, raising money, putting on an event, whatever the finale for this show is ever going to be?
Absolutely. That's what I do for a living. I raise money for charity, I invite celebrities to events, and I throw events. That's what I do. That's what I'm best at. But in the past, you have used Annie as a bit of a crutch in terms of presenting and in terms of delivering messages, in terms of getting to the core of what you were trying to communicate to executives. So without her, you think you could take that on alone and be superior? Absolutely. There's no question in my mind. Absolutely.
But Brandy, haven't you been riding to a certain extent Annie's coattails?
I don't think so at all. I think that Annie and I make a great team.
Do you think so?
I work extremely hard.
Do you think so, Annie?
There's sort of two answers. One is she's perfectly capable on her own. The other is that I think that I was instrumental in the wins of my team. So if you mean in that sense,
Joan, do you think Brandy's been riding Annie's coattails?
Of course. She did an amazing job yesterday. She did that commercial. She did amazing VO. I mean, she's totally capable of doing anything.
I think she's amazing also. I will tell you, Piers doesn't think she's amazing.
Absolutely.
Piers met me for 2 minutes.
I know, but Piers is somebody that happens to have instinct. You know, we all have instinct. And he thought it would be an embarrassment if you made it to the final two. And I have to tell you, that's a pretty strong statement.
That's a very strong statement.
Well, I disagree with him because I think you're fantastic. I think you've done everything properly. I think you've done really beyond what anybody in this room or what I thought you could have. But I don't think you have what it takes to become the Celebrity Apprentice. So, Brandy, you're fired. Great job.
Thank you for a wonderful experience.
You should be very proud.
All right.
Oh, it's okay.
Good luck, everybody. Take care. Bye. Bye, Joan. I was really disappointed in what went down in the boardroom tonight. I really honestly feel that I should have been in the finals. I truly, truly feel that with the bottom of my heart, and I think that I really would have killed it. I'm good. I guess I'm going down.
Well, Jesse, Joan, Annie, sadly, one of you is next. So, Jesse, let me ask you this question. Are you holding back?
No.
Have you been holding back?
In respect to what?
Everything. You're a very hard guy to figure.
I'm not a salesman. You know, I don't like to talk and tell everybody how great I am. I'd rather just lead by example and work the hardest.
But you really have been so low-key, so under the radar.
I think you're judging by just what you see in the boardroom. You know, I'm not low key, and I'm a leader, and I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty.
Do you agree with that, Jim?
And I think, you know...
Yes, a company with 500 employees.
It's true. Joan, Piers talks about stamina. Do you think you have the stamina?
Oh, my darling. I'm tap dancing under the table while I'm talking to you.
All right, because Piers was questioning that.
I have done nothing but face challenges in my life. Nothing to stop me.
Ever.
Okay.
I think that's probably true, because I've observed Joan over the last few weeks, and I have to say, you probably have more energy than the team put together, just in terms of pure energy.
Annie, you have to admit that. She's amazing. She's got
Absolutely
energy.
incredible. Whatever's
You
happened
want to
over
be
the
like
show,
this, Annie.
Absolutely. Whatever's happened on the show, I have a lot of respect for her. I think that she's an amazing worker, and I hope that I have as much energy as that.
What's your strategy, Joan, if you do get into the final two, and you know that you obviously are weaker in the fundraising category, and that your friends haven't stepped up? Have you figured out a way to counter that?
I will just make everything happen in my power in the other aspects as great as it can be. And I still be on the phone, going back, and this time you say to them, if we win, we get $250,000, which maybe that's the carrot that they need.
Let me ask you a question, Joan. What does it mean to you to be in the final two?
It means that maybe we can get some bands for God's Love We Deliver.
Well, that's true. That's true. You've done a great job for God's Love We Deliver. Jesse, what does it mean to you to be in the final two? Without being cool, Jesse. You know, just like, what does it mean? Straight.
A lot. You know, I think these are both women, but they're professional women, and I have a blue-collar background and still work a blue-collar job. And to me, it just, you know.
Jesse, why should I keep you over Joan or Annie?
I love Joan, but I think this competition's a little bit bigger than Joan. No disrespect, but I think it's a lot of different aspects of stuff that she doesn't do. And
Joan, how do you respond?
I think I can do anything and have done anything that has ever been put in front of me. I'm 75 years old and I've never failed. I've been down 3 times and come back each time stronger than ever.
Now, Jesse, we have a little problem with Piers because he was not a big fan of yours. He was a fan of Joan's. He was a fan of Annie's. What do you think he's not seeing in you?
Maybe it just comes down to politicking. You know, I just want to work hard and do a good job. You know, as far as raising money and fundraising tasks, why would I raise all the money that I could have on the first task? You know, why would I show people that I'm a strong fundraiser right at the beginning?
Jesse, are you saving your big knockout punch maybe for the finals? Are you going to bring your wife, you're married to one of the biggest movie stars in the world, are you going to bring her to the final two? I mean, just to see, like, she'll be great, everyone will go crazy, it's your wife, and maybe you win and you raise a lot of money for charity. Would you do that, or would you rather keep her out of it?
I don't know. I don't, you know.
Well, you have to act pretty quickly because it's going on rapidly.
You know, it's definitely a possibility. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it.
But what do you think of this guy, Annie? Does it bother you that Jesse hasn't raised any money?
That does bother me, because if he does have the capability of raising a lot of money, I personally think that every single charity is important, not just your own. And the charities are important whether it's for you to win or not.
But also from a game strategy standpoint, if you save all of your ammunition, there may be a situation in which you never get to use it.
Now, I will say this, that Piers couldn't figure you out. He didn't get it. Now, I think probably it takes a long time, Annie, to figure this guy out.
Yeah.
And Sandra Bullock figured you out, and I think she did a great job. I think she made a great choice. But Piers didn't like the fact that you could have raised a lot of money and you didn't. And, I mean, in one way, I respect that you haven't used your wife. In another way, it's a little disappointing that you haven't brought her in, and, you know, it is for charity. So in one way, I'm a little bit disappointed. And I have a feeling that even if you are in the final two, you probably wouldn't. So, Jesse, you're fired. Great job.
Okay. Thanks.
Really great job.
Thanks, man. Nice.
Okay, nice seeing you. Thanks, Jesse. Take care of yourself.
See you. Jesse, good job. See you. Oh.
Jesse.
See you guys.
Wow, that's surprise.
Bye.
Nice to meet you, kiddo.
Bye. You know, I wanted to come do a good job and show what I could do, and, you know, I think I accomplished that. It is pretty cool that just some welder from Long Beach can come and do well at something like this, and I don't think anybody would expect I would do well, even Donald Trump.
Congratulations to both of you. Amazing job. Stamina, intelligence, everything. Amazing job.
Thank you.
Really good. Really good. Good job, Jesse. Joan, amazing.
It's fabulous. I am very unhappy who I'm going to be playing against because Annie, she is such a player. I mean, her life is about playing.
Melissa will be very proud, John.
I will do what I always do in life. I put on blinders and I do everything I can to win.
She's a big star, Annie.
No, whatever's happened to her, I actually have
Let's not
so much
discuss
respect.
Annie, I think you probably just should go, like, on with your task. There's nothing you're going to do to break that one, so just get on with your task. Don't compliment her, because it doesn't work. It's not working well, is it?
Fake compliments never work.
It's actually not fake. I've been called such horrible things by Joan for weeks. I don't think that Joan Rivers is a nice person. I don't think you can be a nice person and say the things about me and my friends that she has. I'm just going to play really hard. I'm now taking this personally.
Go home, get some rest. Tomorrow's going to be very tough. One of you will become the Celebrity Apprentice.